Eclipse is a position where the Sun, Earth, and Moon are in a straight line. Eclipse is divided into two types, namely, solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. A solar eclipse is divided between four types, namely, total solar eclipse, ring solar eclipse, hybrid solar eclipse, and a half solar eclipse. Lunar eclipse is divided into three types, namely, a half lunar eclipse, a total lunar eclipse, and a penumbral lunar eclipse. A solar eclipse occurs when the position of the Moon lies between the Earth and the Sun so that it is seen closing some or all of the Sun's light in the Earth's sky. A lunar eclipse occurs when part or all of a lunar cross-section is covered by the shadow of the Earth. What happens when the Earth is between the Sun and Moon in the same straight line, so the Sun's rays cannot reach the Moon because it is blacked by the Earth? Eclipse is a natural phenomenon. Generally, every phenomenon eclipse has character or uniqueness that's special. Both of them there's no similar, beginning from time period, shape and each other. Only parts of the area in the Earth that are affected or crosses eclipse. Lunar eclipse comes in new and solar eclipse at night. Eclipse phenomenon has a bad impact or negative impact. One of the bad impact total lunar eclipse, that is when we directly to see it make our eyes is sick because total lunar eclipse has high radiation. So, if we directly see a total lunar eclipse, we should use radiation glasses to protect our eyes. Several years ago in 2016, Indonesia experienced a total solar eclipse. Almost all cities in Indonesia are affected. This natural phenomenon has made many experts interested in coming to our country. They want to directly process total solar eclipse. Not only Japanese experts but also other experts from American, British, Singapore, and other countries. One of the cities that is frequented by tourists from around the world is Ternate City Province, North Moluccas. Why is that? Because Ternate was one of the perfect locations to witness the total solar eclipse at the time. The total solar eclipse is by no means interesting only from the scientific side. This event had tremendous cultural value and tourism. A total solar eclipse is a golden opportunity to promote Indonesian tourism. It also brings benefits to our country. Tourism activity with the phenomenon of a solar eclipse as a major attraction is a form of astrotourism. The phenomenon of the total solar eclipse is also going on in my village, a society very excited to see it. For viewing a total solar eclipse, binoculars are generally used in the modern technological system. But there's also a lot of people using radio-resistant glasses. In contrast to the ancient custom of my homeland, the society employed a unique, simple, accessible, and cost less to see a total lunar eclipse. They used a water medium that was placed in a large basin, and then placed under the sun, put in the yard or field. After placing it under the sun, we can see the full solar eclipse at the puddles in the basin. Not only was there a total solar eclipse, after 2 years there was another eclipse, but it is also a lunar eclipse. This lunar eclipse phenomenon is a very special natural phenomenon. Society mentions red blood moon because the color is like blood and the light is bright. This lunar eclipse also had its effects. One of them is the effects of extremely fluctuating weather in the Indonesian region. The duration of the blood red moon that existed at that time was quite long, almost an hour long. If we look at the lunar eclipse in a pretty long manner, it cannot damage the eye. Unlike a solar eclipse, This contains ultraviolet light that can harm our eyes. There is some myth that permeates society about this eclipse. Most people say that this eclipse is a sign of God's anger and there will be a huge disaster. Traditions in many areas where the phenomenon of a total solar eclipse is also different. Some people bring the sacrifices to the mountains, seas, worshipping images, and others things that were not to be done during an eclipse. Also, some say that during the total solar eclipse, it was forbidden to let pregnant people out because the effect would be on the baby inside. On the other hand, some say an eclipse can increase faith. This is reinforced by doing eclipse prayers and praying together in some cities in Indonesia.